Alright, let's see the damage. I sorted the witch. Well, that is an interesting move. I feel like he could have come up with a better move than that. Because if he had gone axe thrower down, kill the scout, move witch up, explode scout, oh no, that wouldn't kill the that would not kill the soldier, because the soldier had 130. Never mind. Well, that's an interesting move. I don't think he necessarily needed to stomp the scout. That may have been overkill. Especially because matrix26 is assuming that I'm not crazy at this move. And I am crazy. And I'm going to give you all about 20 seconds to stare at this board and figure out what I'm going to do that's crazy. So here you go. Pick the move that Elagatua is going to do. 20 seconds, here you go. Check it out. And 3, 2, 1, spoilers go. Are you crazy? We crazy. Yep, that's totally happening. That is absolutely happening. We are going to sacrifice the medic. We are going to violate Rule 1 of Team Fortress, which is don't lose your medics. We're going to do it. Now, the interesting question is, what do we do with this last AP? Before we figure that out, let's talk about why this move is good. He's down to very few units. And frankly, I am too, although I've got more than him. After this turn, he's going to have 7 units left. And after this turn, I'm going to have 10. So 7 against 10. But this is his last sword. And technically it's a 1-for-2 trade for me. So it's like as far as equipment is concerned, it's advantageous. Obviously I'm giving up the medic. But that leaves him with the axe thrower and the witch as the main scary units. And I do have that respawn token that is absolutely critical. Now, I've seen some games where the Team Fortress player has gone down to 1 medic, and it becomes surprisingly difficult to kill off that last medic. Surprisingly difficult. And with the limited amount of material he has left, and he's going to have to spend his rage in order to kill this last medic here, I just don't see how he's going to be able to do me in here. So assuming that he's not going to be able to deal with this last medic and that I'll be able to successfully play around it, how does this benefit me in the Crystal Rush case? Well, he has to spend his AP killing this medic next turn. He only gets 1 AP to spare, and frankly, he may not even get that 1, because well, it depends on how he chooses to play it. But what I expect him to do is I expect him to attack this medic 3 times, and then stomp it, and then heal the axe thrower. If he, for some reason, does not do that, obviously he has to stomp the medic, otherwise I can just respawn it, which I would do. 2 medics is better than 1. Even at the cost of giving it my last respawn token, it's still worth it. He could meet this axe thrower, in which case that's great, because then now it's a 3-for-1 trade, which would give him a little bit of tempo, but it would put him down to his last meet, which would make it even harder to kill this last medic. But if he doesn't heal this axe thrower, I'm going to strongly consider using this last pyro to finish it off. And that actually ties into what I deploy here. Because if I deploy this pyro here, if he goes, if he hits this guy 3 times and then deploys his second warrior and goes up, or really just does anything but attack 3 times, stomp with something, and then heal. If he does anything other than that, then this pyro will punish him by taking the axe thrower. And if the axe thrower is gone, then the remaining units he has, it's just going to be really hard for him to mount a crystal rush with so few units. Tribe, the more units it loses, the worse it gets, because you have less units to chain heal, and so you can't go out as far on the board as you can when you have a lot of units, and you can have your shamans just sit in the back and revive endlessly. Now, my other option is to spawn a spy. And a spy would also be really good, because as Team Fortress gets less units, or I'm sorry, as Tribe has less units on the board, they have less places where they can basically clump up to have their units safe on the board from the spy. But I think I have time to wait on that and put him out next turn. I'm more interested in forcing this axe thrower. I really want to get this axe thrower off the board. It's the last scary unit. Keep in mind, he is also down to 1 tidal wave, and he has 2 crystals to kill. So if I'm able to pack a lot of units around both of these crystals, then he's going to have to find a way for a warrior to get in there to execute off both crystals with only 1 tidal wave, which is going to be difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. But this is definitely the move. The only other alternative that I had that I looked at is I can actually take out the axe thrower instead of the witch. And I was trying to decide if this this is better, but I don't think it is. I can do something like this, and the problem is that I still lose the medic, because he can go like up and then meet, kill, stomp, and move back, or yeah, he'd have to move back here, or he could even move back onto the attack tile. And sure, it'd bring him down to 1 meat, but really the meats aren't that scary. The scary thing is the sword, because the sword causes a lot of math problems, but as long as his units aren't raged, the meats, they don't turn into 1-hit kills very easily. And witches, because their range is so long, he can kind of chip away at my crystals, and it's just a bigger threat to me bunching up around my crystals, where the axe thrower has to get down and dirty up in the front lines, and it's easier to trade against it than it would be a Sworded Witch. So I'm just going to take my opportunity here, and we're going to deploy this Pyro here, and he's going to get up there, and then we'll see exactly how he chooses to deal with this medic. I'll be interested to see exactly what permutation he does, but he basically has to deal with that right away. And then we're going to set up for a real interesting late game where I've got to walk on my tippy toes to keep my medics, or my last medic and my crystals alive from his final rush with mostly vanilla units. So yeah, TBKesq, this one's for you. The good old medic sacrifice. Here goes nothing.